All right, welcome to, as they call it, Greenwood, Greenwood no Mori. Actually, I did not. Well, we'll be back to World 1. I can double check the name of the town in there. In fact, I am checking the name of anywhere. So this is Rosto Seto no Numachi. Rosuto Seto. I honestly can't make out what that's trying to be. It's not roasted salt. I can tell you that right now. But of course, very used to doing this area at level 2 with no armor, thanks to the randomizer. But once you get to level 5, this area becomes a lot more tolerable. Okay, Kotori, literally little bird, which very, fairly common name too. There's a Kotori in Love Live, one in If My Heart Had Wings. Very good characters. Okay, let's go ahead and snipe you. That's a nice thing. I say this all the time in the randomizer, but no matter where you are on screen, if you kill all the enemies, you'll hear the audio cue for the layer being closed, no matter where you are on screen. There we go, get all these guys at once. I should have hit level 5 at about 1,000 experience. Might as well get rid of all you guys at once. See, if you do not kill all the enemies associated to a layer before screen transition, either by sealing a layer or moving to another screen, all the enemies in that layer will respawn. But if you kill them all, close the layer, that layer will stay closed until you seal it. Does not reopen. But the enemies not tied to layers, they will all respawn every time. Level up, there we go. So with this in level 5, even if I didn't have armor, I would take only 1 unit of damage from every enemy rather than 2. But having the iron armor still makes it easy, so we gotta... Oh, there's a dog, Inu. I'm just looking for the key nouns rather than rather than reading entire text of reviving somebody. But this first section is the water shrine. Yep, Mizuno Shinden. Literal translation from the US for the US version makes sense. And those plants up there you probably noticed outside, but I wasn't able to hurt them while they had their little hands out reaching for me. If multiple spawn in at once in the randomizer, they are a strong contender for first place of the worst enemies in this area. But the actual worst enemies are not the worst enemies in the vanilla game. They are the worst enemies in the randomizer. Because they usually are not tied to any major layers in the vanilla game. I will showcase them when we see them. Alright, I actually want all those mud golems to spawn in. Now I feel dumb because I should have paused the game when we fought the first boss, Solid Arm, just to see what his name was. That's the only way you find out the name. All right, let all you guys spawn in. Okay, so yeah, they spawn in pretty slowly. I think the US version speed ups the spawn rate on some of the enemies. All right, Risu. It's basically saying, "Oh, I'm hungry. Can you get me some food?" Fortunately, he has something good for us. We'll be able to provide him that after we finish the water shrine. Yeah, these lizards are pretty much everywhere, hiding in the water. Sometimes you run into them. There we go. Yeah, just let you guys run in. I'll spare you. All right. This is actually the interesting thing is in the randomizer, the enemies here will be random. They won't always get the lizards. Actually, what I want to do here, yeah, let all them spawn in, because yeah, if these guys appear in the randomizer in that spot, they're usually much worse. If I run against the wall, my little orb where the magic spawns will well, we'll kind of jump down. Go reach out further is the better way to put it. Oh, still not done yet, huh? These guys, not too bad if you fight them one-on-one. Just bait them, get around, kill them. Another bird, which... Now, most of these birds are not very important. They just give you information, little, kind of act as tour guides for the area. More lizards down here. That was rude. At this treasure chest. 150 gems. I'll take it. I would like an herb just for some free healing, but I should hit level 6 at about, I think, 600 experience. And of course, these spears, they will do damage if they touch you. Fun fact, these spears can be killed, but only with the best weapon in the game. They give 3,000 experience apiece, making this one of the best grinding areas in the randomizer if you find an early Soul Blade. With Soul Blade, of course, being the best weapon in the game. Take some more experience, thank you. And I do believe this is an herb. Yep. So if you find a medical herb in a chest and already have one, it will automatically heal you. Alright, I didn't quite read exactly what I released there was. I'm just kind of playing on autopilot since it's vanilla, but at the same time, I'd really need to present more on the Japanese side. But well, there are a few more. I think it was actually just moru. I don't think there's a Japanese word for mole, so they just use moru. Alright, this chest should be the one I've been looking for. Suteki... Suteki na Nomi. So, yeah, I thought this is basically the good seed, or wonderful seeds. In the US version is translated as delicious, which makes more sense if you ask me. But then again, the scroll, either one could work. Oh, Suteki Dyne, I guess. Then again, if that was the case, we'd be playing the wrong game. Alright, just another layer. So yeah, very bad spot for these guys to spawn. They'll just reach in, they're invincible. However, snipe them. So we have not yet seen the worst enemy in this area still. There's our level 6, which is quite nice. Okay, 1. And the wani, not wani. Actually, no, that was not a wa. Like I said, I have a hard time with katakana. But we step over here. There's a hidden item. Let's see. Okay, another mysterious bottle. I was about to say mitsukata. No, that's the verb. So rather than blades are received, it's like you found or item found. But yeah, these are the worst enemies in the randomizer because they are only tied to a couple of layers in here. So we got a squirrel. That one is not needed. But in the randomizer, you can get several of these guys spawning in at once. Can't hurt them until after they teleport away once. And below level 5, they will do 2 damage. Imagine a dozen of these things popping in at once, going all over the place, and shooting at you. That is a literal bullet hell. Okay, well, let's, Mogura. Yeah, not Moru, just Mogura. But that'll come in handy in a bit. Let me double check something. Okay, I've not picked up the item I thought I was going to have, but no. Because I'm not going to get it here, I'll get it elsewhere. Once again, thank goodness for the sword's hitbox. And more treasure. Hey, 50 gems. go to Jemu. Okay, so yeah, we got the... This is the only lair where statues pop up. But of course, I had to make it a little painful, but there's only one. Ha-ha! And Shika, that is a deer, so... That is one of 3 we need in order to get an item in a little bit. It's basically a little guessing game. It's not very difficult at all. Spoiler alert, it's always the same spot. That just opens up a shortcut in case you die. But at this point, if you make it this far and die before you reach the portal back to town, that's pretty sad. So that's one of the most pointless shortcuts in the game, in all honesty. Oh, I got another. Okay, more of those plants. Get rid of these guys first. Okay, you can stop spawning in. Thank you. Try and kill all these guys without stepping on that layer. And the other thing is, of course, you may notice the fireball shoots in the direction that I'm facing. That's also another key tactic when it comes to strafing. Makes it easier to get a consistent direction. Oh, I'll take that. In a lot of cases, unless you're fighting a lot of enemies at once, going out of your way to pick up single gems is not worth it. The 5 and 10 gems are, however. Oh, we got another dog. That one is pointless. But what I want to do is actually come over this way. We close this layer, time to seal it, and we can go back to town. Well, not much we can do right now, but the main exception is actually in here. So this mole right here will say, oh, hey, I came from heaven like you did. I'll help you out. And he'll actually light up an area for us a bit later on. But otherwise, not much we can do except for turning in the wonderful seeds. I almost forgot about that, and that was actually would have been a bad idea otherwise. So we'll give this to you. So, Seko do... Seko do... Yeah, secondo... Then... Secondo... Is that it? That's katakana flip... Throwing me off again. Oh well. But anyway, better sword, and this one will actually come in handy in a little bit. Because what we need to do is continue on to the next area, which is going to be the fire shrine. Oh, these enemies right here. So these plants, if they're on screen long enough, will shoot a butterfly of death at you. And each one counts as is counted as a single enemy. Those enemies will never spawn on a layer, except in the randomizer. If you kill all the butterflies tied to those plants without killing the plants, any layer would still seal. Now, these scorpions we can't kill; they're also made of metal. But with the second sword, we can stun them. That's basically the game's way of saying, "Oh, this will help you out a little bit." Oh, medical herb. And of course, new enemies in here. We have those lizards. We've got these flame men over here. But in this case, we can fight fire with fire and snipe them. That opens up a shortcut for later. But that one's far more useful than the one in the water shrine. We got the Hono Ono Shinden. And if you played Illusion of Gaia, those sprites on the right may look familiar. As of right now, I don't quite know if I'm going to do the Japanese version of Illusion of Gaia as well. It's a little bit more complicated in this game, but it might be doable later on. Depends on if it has any kanji. No, the game's not too hard to play through. So we got another dog who cluttered up the area for us. Yay! All right, deeper into the fire shrine. So. Yeah, I guess that was basically, yeah, that's an empty chest because, in all honesty, it will be overwritten shortly. And of course, the game is saying, "Hey, you got that Psycho Sword to stun all these scorpions, right? They're gonna get in your way otherwise." But you also have to know where to stand, and not a problem. So yep, there's the stairs down. Go ahead and kill you. Now most of the scorpions in here have a pretty basic path. 2 of them will wander around the entire perimeter, outer perimeter. The rest have a much shorter path. Unfortunately, with the Psycho Sword, not too big an issue. Now in the randomizer, if you have either the Zantetsuken or the Metal Cutting Sword or the Soul Blade, you can kill them right away and get some nice early experience. Of course, if you have the Soul Blade, it's far better to grind against those spears. These lizards are invincible while they teleport, but they can still hurt you, making them annoying. Right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Wani. Ooh. Yeah, because the ooh sound in katakana has that little I call it kind of antenna on top. There we go. Just kept the scorpion at bay. All right, this is what we want right here. So we released a squirrel, but the squirrel's saying, "Hey, something's asleep near me," and I can't figure out what it is. I'm actually going to go back to town and showcase what's important about that thing. Now, this is not entirely necessary. I'm just doing this to showcase. It's not a bad idea either. You can run back to town and do this, or not, or do it later. If you do it later, it's definitely a good idea to do so before the boss of this world. I can say that right now. But what we need is our good old Dreamrodo. Dreamrodo. I can actually pronounce it correctly. But this stump right here is actually asleep. Oh, touch it with your Dream Rod. Enter the dream world. Open this path. Talk to this burb. And that basically kicks you out of the dream. That's all we need to do. Now we can get that chest that's behind the big tree. Go and open that up. And it is Rorido no, Yasu. Korudo Yasu. Interesting. The fact that they called it Koldo. Korudo Yasu. Interesting. Basically cold armor.